lame argument against reparations. Talking about slavery is keeping racism alive or perpetuating the victim mentality. No. If we were to stop talking about racism tomorrow, do you think that that would stop another unarmed Black person from being shot and killed by the police? Do you think not talking about racism would change the fact that Black women are more likely to die during childbirth?
We're out of excuses as a country, so please stop making them. We built this country on the backs of Black and brown people, and we still haven't really done anything to say, F***.
Slavery is closer to us than we realize. The last antebellum era, continuously operating plantation from before the Civil War started to well after, was shut down on the eve of World War II because of a complaint to the NAACP and ultimately the U.S. Department of Justice received in the late 1930s. That's right. The institution of slavery in America continued well into the 20th century.
So we need to have some truth telling, and we need to have repair, truth, and reconciliation.
The reason we are still haunted by the legacy of slavery is because our leaders refuse to address it in a meaningful way. From school history books to the halls of Congress, the way that this country still lives with slavery every single day is being minimized and brushed under the rug.
So we need reparations because trauma is intergenerational and it's historical, and it's a force multiplier. It compounds every generation. When we talk about reparations for the African American community, we're not just talking about slavery. Because if things ended with slavery and everything went to equality right after that, we wouldn't be having this conversation so many years later. But we're talking about slavery, followed by the Black laws, followed by Jim Crow, followed by housing discrimination, mass incarceration, drugs being brought into our communities, the war on drugs, underfunded schools. We're talking about all of that, each one compounding on top of itself.
This is 355 years of institutionalized violence against the people. And if you've been kicking somebody to the floor, and I think 250 years of kicking is a lot of kicking. If you've been kicking somebody to the floor, obviously you owe it to them to stop kicking, but do you not also have a moral obligation to help them get back up?
See, it may be complicated, but memorials and apologies, they only go so far in righting the wrongs and the injustices and the continued disparities.
If you're somebody who thinks this is going to be an attack or take something away from you, I want to remind you that when we all succeed, we all succeed. You don't get a group of people that succeed beyond another group of people unless you're being subjugated.
There is progress in the fight for reparations over the past 2 years. I mean, there is real movement. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And we have to believe in the possibility of reparations becoming a reality for ourselves, for our children, and for generations to come, for our ancestors.
Failure to atone for the pain that white supremacy has caused and is still causing creates space for those violent white supremacist ideologies to foster and grow. White supremacist extremism is on the rise, and refusing to talk about its root, slavery, will not solve anything. Silence is not an option, and it's certainly not a cure. If President Biden and Congress are serious about moving the country forward, then they have to get serious about federal action on reparations.
There is nothing more divisive than racism and then equities caused by chattel slavery in the United States of America, action must be taken to create an America as good as its promise.
So this is the time. This is the moment. And you want to be part of this. Be part of this moment.